How to talk to girls. If you're a dude, and you're watching this video, you probably know how nerve-wracking it can be sometimes when you want to approach a girl that you really find attractive, and start a conversation with her. You start to experience all kinds of emotions, and self-doubt. You start to think about all the millions of things that could go wrong. She probably won't like me, maybe she has a boyfriend, she's probably out of my league, and the list goes on and on. But the thing is, you'll never find out until you make the first move, which is to walk right up to her, and say, "Hi." I know this sounds simplistic, but I can understand why most guys are so afraid to do this. I mean, no one likes to get rejected. Rejection is one of the worst feelings anyone could ever experience. But that's something you'd have to learn to get past, if your goal is to ever get to the point where talking to women is second nature to you, and you won't have to think about it twice. Having said all that, this fear of rejection is innate in every man, it's hardwired in their DNA, it will never go away, it's something men have to learn to live with, and try to overcome. And the only way to really deal with it, is by feeling the fear of approaching a girl, and still do it anyway. This is how many men are able to walk up to any woman, and start a conversation. You just need to practice to the point where you're comfortable, and fear no longer stops you from taking action, because the more things you do that are considered difficult, the more confidence you'll start to have. Okay, now that we understand more or less why most men get paralyzed with fear and anxiety whenever they feel the urge to talk to a woman they're attracted to, let's talk about some ways you could become better at approaching women, and striking up conversation with them in a natural way without it being awkward. 1. Don't have any agenda when you're talking to her. Meaning, don't have a preconceived desire for a particular outcome with a woman. A lot of guys, before they even start talking to a girl, they're already imagining all sorts of scenarios in their heads of what they want to happen with someone they haven't even talked to yet. They are their own worst enemy, and they don't even know it. They're putting so much pressure on themselves, simply because they don't want to lose a girl they don't even have yet. And what they fail to realize is, women can tell when you have a hidden agenda, because they're used to nice guys approaching them all day long, and desperately trying to get in their pants. You're not going to get anywhere with them if you act that way, unless of course, you're Brad Pitt or George Clooney, then you could stumble over your words, and practically do everything wrong, and you'd be able to get away with it all. And she might even think it's cute, that you're having problems talking to her. But if you're just an average Joe, you're just going to have to work on how you approach her, she's not going to be as amused. So how should you approach a woman that you fancy, like, or even find irresistible without making a total jackass out of yourself? I thought you'd never ask. Well, the best thing to do when you approach her is to treat her just like any other girl, and the hotter she is, the freer you should feel around her. Your goal is to act like you've been there before, like talking to beautiful women is what you do, that she should be lucky to be in your presence. Of course, you're not going to say any of that to her, your attitude, and your body language is what's going to communicate all that to her. And when she sees that you have no agenda, and you shouldn't, especially if you're a beginner, she's going to start feeling more comfortable with you, and she'll automatically put her guard down, and let you get to know her, and the conversation should flow naturally at this point. And this is something you could start doing with every woman that you come across so you can practice, and develop this skill that you'll need when the right woman comes along. So to summarize, when you meet a woman for the first time, who you're really meeting is her persona, the person she puts out in public in order to get rid of all the nice guys with their hidden agendas she meets throughout the day. And the guys she chooses to give the time of day, and she actually converses with are the ones who can make her feel relaxed from the very start, that way she can be herself, and show them who she truly is. Alright, now that we're clear on how you should approach a woman, let's now shift our focus to what you can do to keep the conversation going once you have opened her successfully. 2. Know what to talk to her about. If you're an inexperienced guy, you're probably going to start asking her all types of questions about herself which she probably won't feel comfortable answering, and if she does answer them, it'll just be a one-word answer. And for you, the guy, it'll feel like pulling teeth, if you will. And you won't even get anywhere with her, and she'll quickly find an excuse to get rid of you because you're being a bore. And these days it's pretty easy, all she has to do is start using her cell phone right in front of you, and just ignore you. Now, how do you make sure this doesn't happen to you? You have to avoid asking her personal questions at all costs, especially if you're a beginner. Wait until later, once you've reached a point where she's comfortable with you, then she'll have no problem opening up to you. But at first, just be observant, and only make comments about your immediate surroundings, and don't make it about her, that way she can let her guard down, and have fun with you. And also, when you make a comment about a particular subject, and she responds, ask her how she feels about it. Women love to give out their opinions, especially on current affairs. Make it your job to always stay up to date on what's going on in the news, entertainment industry, etc. That way you'll never run out of things to talk about when you meet that special someone that you want to approach, and start a conversation with. Cheers! So there you have it, now you know how to talk to girls, and make sure she doesn't reject you. I hope I was able to answer your question on how to talk to girls. And understanding this is half the battle. Now you have enough information to help yourself make better relationship decisions. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. Thank you.